Yes, we are live. Awesome, awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of our second series of crack code interview problems in Rust. Now, this is a show where we want you to get involved. We want you to jump in the chat. We want to hear your comments. We're going to ask you questions. We want you to ask us questions. So it's a show where we want your engagement, but you must follow our code of conduct. We've dropped it in the chat, so make sure that you're not a jerk, you follow our code of conduct, or we will ban you from all Microsoft events. And with that, let's kick off today's show, where we are focusing on cracking code interview problems in Rust. And once again, third time in a row, I'm really excited to be joined by Nell Shamrell-Harrington. So, Nell, do you want to say hello and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Good to see all of you who are returning to us after the first 2 episodes. For those who are new, I'm Nell Shamrell-Harrington. I'm a principal engineer here at Microsoft. Also a member of the Rust Foundation Board of Directors. I was recently elected vice chair of the Board of Directors, and I am also the lead editor of This Week in Rust. So good to be here with you all.
Awesome. I'm just going to drop a link to This Week in Rust in the chat. It's one of the few newsletters that I actually subscribe to. So it's well worth it if you want to get a regular update on all the Rusty things that are happening. And I guess, Nell, as you say, you've recently elected vice chair
of the Rust Foundation Board of Directors. Yep.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Well,
that is awesome. So big round of applause for Nell. So yeah, I'm Jim Bennett. I'm a regional cloud advocate at Microsoft. So I get paid to do stuff like this. So it's my job to kind of hang out on streams with cool folks like Nell and learn things. And so welcome to you all. So we want these shows, if you haven't been to these shows before, these are where we want to have a conversation with you. We're here to answer your questions. In fact, in the last couple of shows, we finally managed to solve one problem in 2 shows because we were too busy chatting with everyone. So please jump in the chat, share your questions, share your thoughts. We're here to help you as much as possible. So we want to get involved. So please jump in the chat. And I will actually ask you if you want to jump in and just let us know where in the world you're from. We get folks from all around the world here, so please let us know where you're from. Let us know whether you're doing Rust in your day job, in your hobby. And just share a bit about yourselves. We want to learn more about you. Crypto Uni is back. Hey, Crypto Uni.
Hello.
Time to oxidize. I'm guessing maybe Crypto Uni, you possibly work for a company that makes secure hardware, perhaps. Let's go, Jim and Nell. Glad to have you here. Crypto Uni says, by the way, not sure what happened, but I missed last episode. Didn't show up on my Outlook calendar. Okay. Sorry about that. We will have a look. If you register for any of our shows on the Microsoft Reactor developer sites, we send you calendar reminders. We also have the Microsoft Reactor Meetup, and Meetup will send you reminders. So, yeah, sorry that you didn't get the notification. All of our shows are on YouTube. We'll get a link dropped to our YouTube in the chat. So if you missed any of our shows, you can catch up with it on YouTube. But also feel free to reach out to us on social media if you've got any more questions after the show, or put questions in chat against the YouTube videos, and we'll try and help you. But yeah, Crypto Uni, great to have you here. Nagla Hannah says something. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read that out because I don't know what that translates to.
I think it might be their name. I'm not sure.
I'm going to do a quick search on that because I'm sure it is something completely awesome. But obviously, if it's not in English, I do have to be a little bit conscious that we're not breaching our code of conduct. So yeah, let me just.
Okay. Thanks for the congrats from one and meet the requirements. I appreciate that.
Great to have you back. Okay. I think that's Nagla's full name. Actually, it doesn't translate. So I think that's Nagla's full name. So welcome. Glad to have you here. And one of meet the requirements are back. That's awesome. Kelvin X says hello from Singapore.
Hello.
Ooh, nice. Greetings from pretty much the other side of the world.
Seattle, Washington. In my case, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're both in the Pacific Northwest, so literally to Singapore, we're pretty much the opposite, about as far away as you can get. I do love Singapore. A friend of mine was there recently, and it's like, and asking for recommendations. I was getting very jealous because I was saying to tend to do these things that I wanted to do. 1 a.m. Okay, that is commitment to the Rust cause.
Wow. Yep. That's impressive. Well, thanks for staying up with us.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Cryptuni says, I don't get paid to attend these, Jim, but for sure I wouldn't miss them.
Oh,
that's nice. That's nice. Glad you're all enjoying it. And Salah Abdelrahman says, hello from Egypt.
hello.
Nice.
Greetings.
Hello. So I've got a few folks from all around the world. Great to have you here. And as I said, we're here to answer your questions as well. Last time we spent a lot of time diving into actually coding interviews, what we thought about them, what's good, what's bad. So yeah, if you're currently interviewing for a job, if you're looking for work, got any questions on coding interviews, we can do our best to answer. We will try our best. I can't guarantee we'll get everything right. Some of us have been out of the coding interview loop for a while, but yeah, glad to have you all here. And then welcome to anyone who jumped on Twitch for this and found there's the Azure Cosmos DB conference going on and have jumped over to join us on YouTube. So if you join us on Twitch and had to jump to YouTube, sorry, we got bumped for a slightly more important event. At least in their eyes. In my eyes, I think we're slightly more important. So I'm just going to share a couple of things with everyone. So as part of this, we've been doing a Cloud Skills Challenge, which is your chance to learn Rust with other people. So we'll just get a link to that dropped in the chat. But our Cloud Skills Challenges are kind of gamified learning for over the next 18 days, 12 hours, 53 minutes, and 9 seconds. We've got 11 modules online, all about Rust for you to learn. And you can kind of compete with other people who've been through. Caspar and Tino have completed all 11 modules. I'm down the bottom with none. I need to go and up my game a bit. But yeah, it's a great chance for you to learn some Rust and kind of compete with other people. The kind of stuff we've got, we've got modules that start with the basics of just what is Rust, getting your development environment set up, starting with your first Rust program, and then just the basic flow control, if-else loops, error handling, memory management, and so on, testing. And then you end with actually building a command line to do this program. So it's a great way, if you're new to Rust, to learn Rust. So I guess now a question for our audience is, who's new to Rust and who's experienced with Rust? I know, I think it was one, you were saying you were doing it for your part-time job. A few other folks have said they're doing Rust. So let us know whether you're actually doing Rust for real or doing it for fun. I just do it for fun. Nell, obviously you're in the enviable position that you get paid to do it, don't you?
I do. I'm doing some Python in my day job too, but Rust is what I enjoy the most.
Interesting you say Python. I'm actually running another version of this show in Python rather than Rust every Thursday. So
yeah, that's with Sarah Kaiser, right?
Sarah Kaiser last week, Jay Miller the week before,
Gotcha.
and then
Cool.
it's actually quite fun because Jay comes from like a web dev background. Sarah comes from data science backgrounds. The two of them approach the problem in kind of different ways. And we didn't complete the problem. 2 episodes in, we didn't solve the problem. So next week, this week even, I'm losing track of weeks. This week, I'm hopefully having both of them on together and see whether we can wrap up the problem. So that's going to be interesting, seeing how they collaborate.
Yeah, Sarah's a friend of mine. We play Magic together, among other things. So awesome.
I did not know. Yeah, Sarah's awesome. Sarah's absolutely awesome. So I've got a few things I'm lining up with her.
Cool.
More news later on, but I've definitely got a cool video coming out with her at some point as soon as we can get a film crew somewhere near some water. I'm going to hint at that and then leave it there. So
cool.
Should be fun.
Also, there's no water snakes if you're doing Python by the water, but anyway.
No water snakes. Python's a dangerous one to do because my daughter's learning a little bit of Python, but my wife has a real snake phobia.
Oh, gotcha.
Not just like I don't like it, as in if she even thinks about a snake, I have to start looking under the bed or under the sofa. Legs come up. She once threw a newspaper across a train carriage because she was flicking through the morning paper when we used to catch the train to work and had a picture of a snake, and she screamed just through the paper.
Oh no!
Yeah, that woke a few people up. I wasn't expecting this random woman to scream on the train, so I have to be a little bit careful around anything Python related. So no, there'll be no water snakes involved at all when we're filming with Sarah. Cool. Okay, so there's a few people doing Rust. Scott
Awesome.
McKinn. Scott, great to have you back. Doing it for the fun of it for now. Awesome. Awesome. Daniel Heater says, just a little on a proof of concept WASM project for work last year. We touched on this last time, didn't we? Saying WASM was a great use case for this, for Rust.
It definitely is.
Yeah. Someone was saying, I think it was Yosh on the last series was saying that Rust is the best language for WASM.
Yeah, I've dabbled just a little bit in WASM, but it does seem to work very, very well for it. That could be a future series. We could do a WASM module or package together.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. Done. Yes. You heard it here first. It's going to happen. Nell and I doing some WASM. For those who don't know what WASM is, it's web assembly. So the idea is you can build compiled binaries that run inside a web browser. So they don't have like the full operating system access that you would have with a compiled binary running locally, but you kind of get this ability to build a high performance binary that runs inside a sandbox of an of a browser. So it's a lot of fun. Crypto Uni says both work and fun, thankfully.
Yay!
Here. Woohoo! Also started thinking of promoting Rust for other devs with some experience on JavaScript, Python. Resistance is...
I like it.
I love it.
Especially because I'm dearly loving the 3rd season of Picard that's going on right now. That's awesome. I
still haven't seen that.
It's good.
Yeah.
The 3rd season especially is definitely its finest.
But it was on some TV channel that I didn't have.
Paramount Plus, yeah.
Paramount Plus. I think I get that. I don't know, I think my phone contract gives me a year of that or something.
Oh, okay.
I never bothered to sign up for it. I just kind of got to the point where there's so many, the Netflixes, the Disney Plus, and this and this and this. It's like I want to watch this, but I just cannot be bothered to sign up for another thing. Right. So I probably should and watch that because I do like Patrick Stewart as an actor. Mm-hmm. He is very, very good. And I used to love Next Generation when I was growing up. Kelvin X says, we're working on TockOS for telematic stuff on electric motorbikes here in Singapore.
I can't remember. I think we might have featured something about TockOS in This Week in Rust at some point, but I can't quite remember. Oh, that looks cool.
I think didn't we talk about it a little bit last week or something?
We might have. And IoT is definitely more your area than me. That is cool.
Yeah, I haven't done much with Rust and IoT. I haven't really done anything with Rust and IoT, but an actual embedded operating system built all using Rust. Okay. Can do TPMs, wearables.
Cool.
Ooh. And it's on GitHub.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay. I should probably have a play with this at some point. Oh, it works on the microbit. Oh, the V2. Okay. Raspberry Pi Pico. Nice. Nice. Let's see what our other hardware supports. Okay. Ep3 family. Okay, the STM32 disco boards. Yep.
Cool.
ESP32. Nice. Yeah. ESP32 is like kind of one of the basic ones that you want support for because these ones are the cheapest ones you can get.
Nice.
Those 2 boards. So, ooh, nice.
Cool.
Nice. Okay. Right. That's my afternoon sorted. I'm going to have to play with this maybe if I get time. Sorry, boss. I can't do whatever else it is you want me to do. So Crypto Uni asks a question for you, Nell. Just wondering if Microsoft Rust team is doing anything with Brian Cantrell from Oxide Computers regarding cloud and Azure. Honestly, that guy is a machine.
I do know Brian Cantrell, and he is a machine. I was on the same speaking card as him. I've been on the same speaking card as him a couple of times. And I remember at one conference, there was a live captioner who was doing great. But when Brian was speaking, who talks not just a mile a minute, like 10 miles a minute, I could practically see smoke rising up from her keyboard as she was rapidly typing everything in. I don't know of anything between Microsoft and Oxide at this time, which if I did know of something, I probably wouldn't be able to talk about it, I imagine, but that does sound very, very cool.
Ooh, I didn't realize Jessie Frizzell was one of the founders
Yeah,
of
yep.
I used to work with her.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she used to be part of the cloud advocacy team at Microsoft.
Oh, awesome.
Way back when. So yeah, it's what, 5 years ago. I didn't realize she was involved in Oxide. Yeah, because I met someone from Oxide. We had an open source day, well, open source weekend. We kind of run these every few months at the Microsoft Reactor in Redmond, and I met someone from Oxide
Oh,
there.
cool.
And yeah, it seems pretty cool. It's kind of great to see they're using Rust. So yeah, I didn't realize Jessie was involved in that. That's cool.
Yep. She's one of the founders.
Okay, yeah, I should probably look into that a bit more because
Yeah, it's a cool company. I interviewed a bunch of them for a conference panel a couple of years ago.
that certainly does seem. That's a problem in tech. Is there's too many cool things.
It's true. There's way too many cool things.
Yeah, I want to play with them all. There's never enough time. So Kelvin X says we're porting for ARM Core M4. Nice. Nice. So that way, yeah, because there's so many platforms when it comes to IoT devices. So many platforms, but a lot of them are based around the kind of the ARM Core chipsets these days. So it kind of seems to be that everything's kind of centralizing on these kind of ARM low-powered ARM processors. So that's cool. And just following on with the TOC thing, Crypt Junior says, TOC is an amazing project. If you want some hands-on, be sure to search for the meetup groups, Hack and Learn, mostly German user groups, but all conversations are in English.
Cool.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I need to definitely need to keep an eye on this. Yeah. Meet the requirement says Bacon is better than the Rust analyzer.
Okay, I haven't played with Bacon too much.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, didn't we? Bacon.
I was gonna laugh if you just searched Bacon because I knew that would be neat. All right.
Best. There you go. The Bing Images comes up with me.
Of course. Yep.
Yes, obviously. Not the Bacon cipher. Let's see if I can find. Here we go.
Bacon.
Yeah. So
that's right. I have heard of this.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I think. This is the one where it basically continuously runs a compiler in the background, spitting out the responses. So rather than running the Rust analyzer having stuff kind of in line, this spits it out in the background.
Cool.
So yeah, one needs to try out. Let's put a drop a link to this in the chat. It's definitely one we should try out.
Cool.
Kind of almost need another series where we just try out these things.
Yeah, try out cool Rust things.
Yeah. Get folks to jump in the chat, tell us about a cool thing, and then we just hack on it for an hour and see what happens. Meet the requirement says shiny object syndrome is the real struggle.
It's true. Yep.
It is. So I guess now, what shiny thing are you playing with at the moment? Do you have any shiny side projects or anything fun you're dabbling in?
I do a lot of 3D printing, though I've been doing that for a while, so I'm not sure if that's a shiny object thing. Well, sort of. I haven't tried programming it yet, but I just got a little weather sensor station thing that I put in my backyard, so it gives me information about the temperature, winds, trends, etc. And I'd like to hack on it a little bit more, which I'll probably do soon, and see what I can do with it.
Ooh. Yeah, those are always fun because, yes, you can see the data on a display if they have it, but if you can get a live feed of that feeding in somewhere and you can build your own little dashboards and all that.
And it does my indoor temperature and my outdoor temperature, which will be nice during the summer when I want to make sure the air conditioner is still working for my bunnies, my pet bunnies at home, if I'm in the Redmond office or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty nifty.
You have pet bunnies?
That's I do. Cool. I have 2. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, growing up, we used to have rabbits, but it was kind of you keep them outside, and that was kind of the way it was done. But it seems now people have got bunnies in the house.
Yes, and that's, ours are definitely bunnies. Indoor bunnies. Yeah, house rabbits.
Yeah, and you can litter train them, or whatever is the technical term for
litter box train. Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I keep seeing videos on all the various social medias, these cute house bunnies just jumping into things and doing.
I'll have to send you some videos of mine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they are cool, but my daughter loves cats, so if I had bunnies, then the cats would just chase them.
Yeah, it depends on the cat. Some cats and some bunnies get along, but it depends on the cat and the bunny.
Yeah, our cats are kept inside. They're indoor cats because we have, bears around here. And if they see a bunny outside, they go running to the windows and just.
Gotcha. Yep.
Cool. Once again, we're 20 minutes in and we haven't really done anything.
And talk about bunnies.
I could have been talking about bunnies. Yes. I'm going to drop another link to the chat for everyone.
Cool.
So this is a link to the code for this series and last series as well. So what we did the last couple of episodes, and it took us 2 episodes because we were chatting so much, is we did a word search. So the problem we were solving is we had this 6x4 board and we had a word and we had to find the word. And we had to simply return true or false if the word was there. So this case, we had to find hello. It's there. We can go up, down, left, right. Again, world, backwards. But this one here, had to find the word rust. We can't go diagonally. So RUS. So that was the problem we were working on. Thanks everyone who helped out. One especially gave us a lot of help with syntax. So thanks One for that. But it took us 2 weeks to get even close to finishing. So what we're thinking this week is we might go back and refactor the code that we've written, because it was very much we had to get the code done because we're running out of time, and then might even spin up GitHub CoPilot and see what that makes of the same problem, and just see whether we can get it to solve the problem and see who does a better job. So that's going to be interesting to see what suggestions GitHub CoPilot comes up with. So that's our thoughts. Before we dive in though, Crypto Uni has a thing. I had a precision farming project at early stage. Weather station, mesh network, soil sensor, real-time analysis of crops. But too bad it was cost prohibitive for a solo team, and then COVID came along.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, digital agriculture though is huge. Absolutely huge. It's kind of one of the biggest use cases of IoT outside of manufacturing.
Yeah, I know Microsoft's been doing experimental things with it. There's a display near the building where I work on the campus that shows the different sensors and stuff that can be used for IoT-driven agriculture.
Yes, so FarmBeats was the project that was originally worked on. Dr. Ranveer Chandra worked on that. We actually have a farm in Carnation.
Oh, cool.
I'm not sure whether we own it or whether we have a deal with the owners, but we have a farm in Carnation.
We being Microsoft or we being you?
Oh, we being Microsoft. Sorry.
Cool. No, it's okay.
Yeah, not me. I'm not a farmer in the slightest. But we being Microsoft, we have a farm that I'm not sure whether Microsoft owns it or whether we just have a deal with the owners where we test out all our FarmBeat stuff. So
cool.
We actually do a lot of experimentation out on the farm to test out sensors, data gathering, and we've been working with TV whitespace as well. Because if you've got these massive farms everywhere, you need to have connectivity across these farms. Wi-Fi doesn't stretch that far. So one option is to use TV whitespace for internet connectivity.
Cool.
So there's a lot of cool stuff there. Yeah, what I will do actually, absolute blatant plug. So I've built an IoT curriculum.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm going to drop in the chat because I'm going to do an absolute blatant plug for everything I do, because why not? So I built an IoT curriculum, and the idea of our IoT curriculum is IoT from farm to table. So we actually start off with a whole thing about farming where we look at soil moisture sensors and automated watering. So it's not fully advanced with all the things they can do, but it just teaches you the basics of IoT for automated watering.
Cool.
And I've got a series of videos where I cover that. There you go. So I'll just drop a link to this playlist.
All right. And then we'll do some Rust code.
We'll do some Rust code. Yeah. But yeah, this is not in Rust, but it's in the playlist where we actually talk about soil moisture sensing and all that.
Cool.
Yeah, Microsoft has the biggest plantation for IoT experimentation. It was featured in Bloomberg on Newsweek, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's all part of the whole kind of FarmBeats stuff. So if you just Google Bing FarmBeats. Google it with Bing. Then you find all the stuff we do, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's run Rust code. Meet a comment says, "This is awesome. Thank you for sharing." Gladly. Yep. It's a lot of cool IoT stuff there. Not in Rust. One day I should rewrite it all in Rust. But yeah.
Cool. So if we're talking refactoring,
Yes.
I mean, often I look for places that are repeated, and it seems the ones where we look above, we look below. I mean, we're taking a letter and comparing it to the first letter, 4 times. So I'm wondering if we can, refactor that into one function that we can call 4 times.
Yes. Yeah, actually, before we dive into that,
Oh, cool.
just gonna give a quick walkthrough for anyone
Sure.
who hasn't been here for the last couple of sessions. What we've got some test cases here. So we're using standard Rust tests here. Got a test case. We define our board as a 6x4 array of letters. We have our word as a string slice, and then we have this is_in_board function. And this is_in_board function, this grabs the first letter from our word, iterates through the rows and columns in our board, and then if it finds that first letter, it then looks at all the letters around left, right, top, and bottom for the next letter in the word. And we're using string slices, so we pass in the word starting at the next character. And then in our isNextLetterAdjacent function, if we finished our word, if we found it, we'd say yes, it's there. Otherwise, we grab our first letter and then we check above, below, left, and right by making sure our position is valid. So if we're on the top row, we don't check above. If we're on the bottom row, we don't check below. If we're on the left-hand column, we don't check left. With the right-hand column, we don't check right. But otherwise, we then get the letter above, below, left, and right, and then check whether that matches the next letter. And then if it does, we then recurse on this function. So that's just a bit of background. And then, as Nell was saying, we do this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And Nell is actually currently in my Visual Studio. So if you haven't come across Visual Studio Live Share before, this is a way you can actually give people access to your Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. It's not screen sharing, it's not screen control, it's access to the code. So Nell is running VS Code locally.
On VS Code, what is that thing crawling in the lower left hand of your screen? What is that?
That is VS Code Pets.
Oh my god! What? Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Is there a bunny? Is there a bunny?
Okay.
No, there's no.
Not yet, at least.
No bunny. Cryptgenius says, "Wait, what? What? The VS Code Pets?
This is like Neopets. I was a child of the '90s, or the little Tamagotchi things. Yeah. That is amazing.
VS Code Pets. It's an extension. You can install it in Visual Studio Code. Literally, you just install it. Go into extensions, search for VS Code Pets, install this. It's from one of the Python advocates at Microsoft, and you can add animals. You can either do it as a full pane on the side or just a small one inside here.
Okay, that's amazing. And yes, I realize I completely derailed everything, but oh my gosh. Yeah.
And you can do a cat, chicken. There's Clippy if you want to be on brand.
Yep.
Clippy. There's a rubber duck. There's a snake if you want to be Python. So there's a lot of stuff there. And then you can even change the background. So have like a castle in the background or woods in the background, things like that.
That is amazing.
And you can throw a ball. And so you see the kiddie's got a ball there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And yeah, obviously we had to do a crab because
of course, Ferris.
Yeah, got to have Ferris there.
Yeah.
It's fully open source, and the guy who came up with this, Anthony Shaw, he is desperate for people to add more pets and backgrounds and other things to it. So if you want an open source project to contribute to, VS Code Pets is the one to do. I mean, look at this little kitty here.
It's so cute.
So cute. It's trying to play with this little ball. In a minute, it'll pop up with this ball in its mouth. It's just there's Ferris there.
Doing a dance. Yep.
Doing a dance.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I had that running. I thought I had the crab earlier. Cryptgenius says, "Oh my god, Jim, come on, ha ha ha." Yeah, it is excellent. Scott McKeon says, I saw that last week. Yeah, it's been around for a while actually. So Anthony started at Microsoft a year and a bit ago, and the first thing he did is he wrote that for fun.
That's amazing.
Cryptgenius says, "Can you make him fight? That crab would for sure eat up any Python-esque pets." You cannot make them fight because we're all friends.
It's not here. Digimon.
So if I add a snake called Python
Oh.
They won't fight.
Yeah, they'll just hang out.
Yeah. All these pets are friends.
Yep.
Look at that little snake.
Oh, that's amazing. Cool. Okay, let's really write some code now. But that is amazing. Yeah.
Okay. So Nell, any tips for refactoring? You said about you think you can pull this out into functions.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. So I notice, basically what we're doing is and Bing just did weird stuff in my screen. All right. So what we're doing here is, we're doing a comparison of some kind. We find we have the first letter, we find we take one thing such as above or below in this case, and we compare it to the first letter. So I'm wondering if we could factor this comparison into a function and then pass it, compare value and first letter or something to that effect.
Yeah. I mean, could we even add the line above?
Potentially, though it's slightly different from each one, though we could.
Just thinking though, because if you look at line 21, we've got previous position 0, -1, previous position.
Oh, you're right.
Previous position 0, -1, previous position 1. So we're going to have to pass in the new position here.
Right.
So that's the same new position here. So would we, because it's the same value, we're just saying get the letter at this position, and then if it's the same as the letter we've got, check the next letter.
Yeah, I think that could work.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to?
Yep. Yeah, I'll go ahead and give that a try. I'm just gonna.
That's one of the things I love about live share. The fact, I'm not touching this code. This is not me. I'm not doing anything, but it's happening on my screen.
Yeah, let me just move some windows around on my system here.
Okay. While you're doing that, yep. So it's Nagla Makram Ibid Hannah is from Egypt. Yeah, apologies. I didn't realize that was your name that you're putting in the chat earlier. Welcome to you in Egypt. Glad to have you with us.
Alrighty, so let's try this. Function compare. And we need to pass in the first letter. Probably going to reorder these. So I'm just trying to capture what we need to pass. First letter, which is a string slice. Or no, that's a car.
It's a car, yeah.
I don't think we need to take ownership of it. So let's say we take a borrowed reference to it.
Yeah, it's not changing, is it? So we just borrow it.
Exactly. Yep. Compare letter. It's probably not the best thing. And thing to call it, but we'll call it that now. Previous position. We need to do previous position 1 and previous position 2 because it is a little different. Oh no, it's just.
No, I think we just pass it into the tuple, can't we?
Yeah. And that would be what? And
so use size, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be use size. All right, let's see what happens here. And then we're returning. What are we returning?
I guess a bool, isn't it?
Yeah, that seems to be it. Oh, and I'm missing a parens here. Okay. All right. So let me just try moving this for now.
Do we need the outer check? Because that if previous position .0 is greater than 0, that's where we're in the top row.
Yep, I don't think we need that.
No.
I've got all sorts of squigglies. Oh, well, we haven't passed in the board.
Okay. Yeah, while you're adding the board, just a couple of comments in the chat. Actually, one says that I think you need the board as well.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, one. Nagla Hannah says, "Can you say my name again, please?" Yep, Nagla Makram Abid Hannah from Egypt. Welcome. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. I hope that was right. Glad to have you with us. CryptoUni says, "How do you get any work done, Jim? I'm basically just looking at that cat going Spider-Man on the VS Code Pets thing, not even seeing what Nell is doing." Oh no, it fell down. Come on, kitty, get up. I get you up again. Okay, the Python's now driving a car.
This is amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. It's a little car. It's like a little golf cart. Oh, yeah. How do we get any work done? Meet requirements says, wouldn't this be a sliding window example? And can you explain why its use size is the type in this case? Not sure what you mean by a sliding window example. Use size. So the reason it's a use size is the default for correct me if I'm wrong here now, but the default indexing for an array is a use size, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's an unsigned integer, because we can't have like the -1th item in the array. That just doesn't make sense. That's why we have an unsigned integer that starts from 0 and goes all the way up to whatever. And use size is the most efficient one to use because that's the size of the basically the size of what the processor deals in. So on a 64-bit processor, it's a 64-bit number. Is that right?
I was completely distracted by trying to fix my code. Sorry.
But yeah, that's why it's a use size. That's the default when you index an array. It's the default with a use size. But yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by a sliding window. Can you explain a bit more? Okay.
Oh, why does this keeps autocorrecting to window? There we go. Okay.
Okay. So you've got the compare list you're passing in, but we don't need that actually because we define that on line 6, don't we?
Yeah, and let's. I mean, for this purpose, for this time in the refactoring, I don't think we need that, unless we want to, pass that, not do this above part here.
Because that's what I was thinking. Because this is the same location.
Yeah.
So actually, what we need, this isn't the previous position. Wouldn't this be?
Oh, good thinking.
Compare position.
Yeah.
And that way, what we have here is this.
Gotcha.
Dot 0 compare position dot compare position. Because that way, when we call it, we'd pass in.
I think you're correct on that.
So when we call it here, we'd pass in previous position dot 0 plus 1 previous position dot 1. That would be the compare position.
Correct. Yep. Okay. So why don't we go ahead, and if you're gonna make a change, go ahead.
But I was thinking if we do that there.
Oh, gotcha.
We don't need to pass that in.
Yep. So here's what I'm thinking for next is let's try just calling this function. It's moving. Let's just try calling the compare function here and pass in the proper things. What I want to do is call. Compare. All right. What I'm doing here is I'm just going to try and call it from this particular if-else chain, and let's see how it works. Or see if the tests pass.
Gotcha, yeah.
Okay, and rather than compare position, are we what would we be passing in?
It would be, if I just copy and paste here from here and change it, it
right.
should be that, but we're -1. That's
You're
what we
right.
had
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. All right. I've got squigglies, so I probably got something wrong. Oh, okay.
And then the remaining word we pass in, that should be.
I mean, remaining word is.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's right. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Okay. Cool. But now it's expecting found bool. Oh, hey.
Semicolon.
It needed a semicolon. That's what was going on.
And then don't we need, and if not, return false?
I think we return false up here because we've got the else.
Now here we return in the compare function.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yep. But we need to drop out, don't we? Because if we fail to compare.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when we run the tests.
Yeah. So go cargo test.
Yeah. Oh.
Didn't work.
Nope. Does not like something.
Okay.
Huh. That's why we tried in just one so far. So.
Okay, so meet the requirements says the basic idea behind the sliding window technique is to transform 2 nested loops into a single loop. More of a technique.
Oh,
so you mean down here where we have the 2 nested loops for is in board. One way it could work is to take a hash map or dictionary to count specific array input and uphold and increase the window towards right using an outer loop.
Huh, cool.
Okay, yes, yeah. We could, after we've done this one, we
can definitely take a look at that.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
All right.
So.
I mean, what I'm wondering is if we could. Oh. Go ahead.
Oh, no. No, I was about to say, I was about to say we should be calling compare from return from here, but we don't. We should be calling is next letter adjacent. So I was about to do something very stupid.
Oh, okay. No worries. So looking, at one of the loops that works. Oh, let's see here. I mean, do we have a return true case here? Because we're comparing, and if it is adjacent, I mean, I'm wondering if we should just return the result of compare. Oh, well, I mean, we can see what happens there.
That's what I'm thinking is maybe we should just return, if compare is true, return true.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Rather than if not compare, return false.
Yeah.
If compare is true, return true. Because that's what we're doing here, really. We work all the way down. If we hit a true, we recurse back up and return that, don't we?
Yeah. Let's see what happens if we run the test now. Hey, there we go. Cool.
Yay. So in theory then,
we could do something similar with the rest of these.
Because the position is that +1. If I take that out.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. So I'm literally just copying and pasting the same thing, but I'm just changing the. As I go along.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, Crypto is saying, can't you just return compare? We might be able to. But let's finish this part first. Oh, go ahead.
We can't return compare because if compare returns false, we need to check the next position on the board.
Oh.
Because what we'll be saying here is we'll be saying if we are not on the top row, return comparison. That just drops us out. We never check so we'll only ever check the top letter. Won't check below left and right.
I think I follow you. Yep.
Yeah. So because the compare will basically recursively walk through, and if that reaches true and says yes, I found the entire word, then we short circuit and return true. We drop out. Cool. Whereas if we get to the end and we don't find the word, we have to check the next letter. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
And that passes. Cool. Okay. Is there any other ways we could make this more efficient? the sliding window idea.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Or CryptoUni says there has to be a way to collapse all those ifs. I've got an idea on that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if we did a function is on edge of board, and what that does is, let me take a position,
Mm-hmm.
and then we could say, if previous position equals 0, or position .1 equals 0, or position dot 0 is, I need the, let's take the board in as a size, just to be on, just in case the board is not guaranteed to be the right size. But we say, so pre-position 0 is equal to the board length minus 1. Previous position 1 is equal to, actually that should be that.
Okay, gotcha.
So what we're saying here, I mean, that can't I? And it's not previous position, it's just position.
Position, yep.
One of these days I learn to type right. So what we're saying is, if we're on the edge of the board, if we're in the 0 or we're at the end, we are on the edge of the board. If we're on the edge of the board, we don't look. No, that's not going to work, is it? That's not going to work. Ignore me completely. That's not going to work. Because I was thinking, if we check within the edge of the board, if we're on the edge of the board, we don't look. But we do have to look, because if we're on one edge, we still need. If we're on the top but halfway along, we still need to use left and right. So
okay, gotcha.
Ignore that. Ignore that. Meet requirement says a match.
I mean, possibly.
How could we do this? Any other thoughts on how we do this with a match statement?
Well, let's see here. Let me pull up the syntax for match statements, because
I'm going to run a load of undos, because I run a format and that mucks up the layout. So let's undo that formatting. Yeah, CryptoUni says, something there is screaming, use a match.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Let's see here. Well, here is, I'll put it in our private chat. Maybe you can put it in the YouTube chat. So this is Rust by example with some examples of the match, how to do a match statement. And let me pull up
that's
the Rust reference. Oh, that's not what I want. I want the Rust book.
So what we could do then, that would be something like, can you match on a, if we do match previous position dot, we match on previous position dot 0 greater than 0?
Yeah, theoretically, I think so.
Because these are all matching a value against a hard-coded value. So can you match against
a condition?
Condition, yeah.
Let's give it a try. I'm actually not sure.
What would be the syntax for that?
Match previous position. Well, I want to use if else again, but I know that's what we're trying to get away from. Let's see here.
because that's enums.
Right.
That's
Okay.
matching options.
Scott also says, or at a minimum, you can unnest the ifs if preposition greater than 0 and compare. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we can certainly do that. And that is better.
Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's slightly
Cool.
Slightly better.
Mm-hmm. I feel like match statement, if we had one value we were calculating, and then we would, if we calculated 3, we would do this. We calculated 7, we would do this. I think a match statement would be appropriate. Or if we had something like an enum where we were enumerating over various options. I'm not sure if a match statement works best in this particular situation.
Yeah, because if you had an enum to say you were in the top, bottom, or other, or left, right, or other, then yes, you can match on that. But we don't really have that.
Mm-hmm.
What I am going to do though is, what do you think about this? Renaming previous position to previous pods.
Fine by me.
That just makes it a bit more, almost fits on screen now.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's almost on screen. Cool. Maybe rename first letter to first.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if you're doing this in an interview, things like first letter is great because it's very descriptive, but we're falling off the screen here. So
cool. All right. Well, I do think that is a substantial improvement. Those two pieces of refactoring, adding in compare and then getting rid of the nested ifs.
Mm-hmm. Nice. We've got 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
Prevpos.
Oh,
there we go. Yes. Let's go for prevpos. There you go. They all fit on one line now.
Cool.
Nice. Okay, this is cool. We've got like 7 minutes left. Should we see if CoPilot can do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's just turn CoPilot on.
Yeah.
So that's what we talked about doing. So let's comment this out and let's actually try and write this. Let's do one here. Let's try and write this in line. Have you got much experience with CoPilot?
I've used it. I haven't used it as much in Rust. I did very early in the days of CoPilot just to experiment with it, but for things like Python and JavaScript, it's fantastic. And I understand it's been improving Rust as it goes along.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I've been using it to help me learn Rust because I've been writing something in a comment and then it will fill it in and then I'll read through it, try and work out does this work? How does this work? And then usually it's wrong because it will point to one crate. I'm using a different crate, but it's kind of has been quite useful.
Yeah.
So check if word is in the board.
Okay.
Check the first letter is in the board. If it is, check the next letter is adjacent. That's not very helpful, is it? Okay, let's try writing a function.
Okay.
Ow.
Is CoPilot on?
It's on. It's just
okay, gotcha. I'm looking at my thing rather than yours. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So CoPilot's on, and it's just built this entire function for me.
Oh wow!
Find the first letters in the board.
Cool.
The next letter adjacent. Let's try that again. Function is next. Doesn't give me anything. No, it's not giving me. Is letter next to CoPilot spinning?
Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. It's not sure what to do. Oh.
Okay. It's
cool.
basically written what we wrote.
Yeah. Well, that's nifty.
Okay.
Oh. It's first learn.
It didn't like. Oh, the other tests, of course.
Yeah.
It's could we call it his first letter in bold?
Cool.
Failed. It failed. CryptoUni says try giving it more context. Yeah. Okay. Because I think this highlights one of the problems with this is it's created a whole lot of code, but we don't know what this code does.
Correct. Yep.
So it is first letter in board. It says it's never used, but it's used here.
Yeah.
So we get the first letter. We then go through the rows and columns.
I think it's still yellow because it's not used outside of test code.
Yeah. Okay, and then we've got column equals first, which is the character. Return that. Oh, it's passing in 0, 0 as our position.
Oh.
That's wrong.
Yep.
Because this iterator. What does the iterator return? This is return the characters, isn't it?
Correct.
So so this isn't giving us the locations. So like CryptoUni says, we have to give it more context. There we go.
Okay, cool.
So now we've given it context, use the word enumerate through the rows. What it's done is use the enumerate function. That gives location. Now it's passing that location through.
Okay, that is really cool. Oh, well, okay. Another one passed. Yep.
Okay, so
test 2.
So test 2, where we go backwards, that's the one that failed. But we've got 2 tests passing. We just wrote a couple of comments.
Yeah, and this is what I've noticed from CoPilot is it gets us a decent amount of the way there. Maybe not 100%, but a decent amount.
But the problem is when it generates a lot of code, if something's not
working, it's hard to see.
There's a lot for you to wade through.
Yep.
So it's a tool that it's just another tool, but you have to use it with your eyes wide open.
Yep. I was playing with ChatGPT a while ago. I told someone, so it's basically like a third grader in that it's sometimes wrong, but it's very confident when it's wrong. And because it doesn't have the context to understand why it's not necessarily or why it is wrong necessarily. So you have to evaluate it based on that context.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. It picks the statistically most likely next thing for it to be there. That doesn't necessarily mean it knows what it's doing.
Crypto Uni says, any Battlestar Galactic fans in here? Co-Cylon, LOL. So Crypto Uni at our wedding, which my wife and I are celebrating our 10-year anniversary in May, when the minister asked the congregation, will you support this couple in their marriage? Rather than using the traditional response of we will, we had the congregation yell, so say we all. It was fantastic.
Oh,
and the marriage has clearly lasted. Yep.
Awesome. That is awesome. So are you a classic Battlestar Galactica or the new one?
The new one. I love political dramas and I love sci-fi, and that's what the new Battlestar Galactica is, though I admit I haven't watched any of the older one.
I watched the old ones years ago. Like almost like when it was, maybe not quite when it originally came out, but yeah, the new one is good.
Yeah.
Crypto Uni also says, honestly, I'm not too keen on either Copilot, ChatGPT. Rather use the analog computer between my ears. I think you spend more time troubleshooting it than writing it yourselves. I would say yes and no. No, as you say, it's like a third grader. In that sometimes it is right, and I'm finding it very powerful for learning new things because it will fill out the code, and then I can read through it and understand it. But yeah, you have to put the time in,
right?
Because as we're seeing right now, we've got one test that's failing. And we don't know why. So now we have to kind of go back and actually, what is different about this one case? This is what we're stepping backwards.
It's really useful for scaffolding. Like even, I know people who have used it to write emails or generate documents, and they're not just copying and pasting what it generates. They're getting the scaffolding, they're getting the start, and then they're going in and editing it. So it depends on what you're wanting to do. But yeah, you provide the critical parts of meaning, and I find it's very useful at providing the scaffolding that goes around those critical parts of meaning.
So for example, if I were to comment out these tests, what I could do is
and we are over time, I just realized.
Add unit tests. They're going to fit in. I want to actually fit in the whole test thing, but it hasn't.
Okay.
That was worth a go. Oh yes, as you say, we are over time. Luckily, we're not going to be leading into anyone's Twitch session.
Oh, okay, cool.
The problem because we're already being kicked off. Cryptuni says, I think AI for junior devs is honestly dangerous. Why? Because junior devs might think what it's generating is truth, and sometimes its solutions are not going to be that efficient or even valid biz-wise. Yeah, it is. It's a tool. We're all learning how to use this tool right now.
Right.
And on that note, a junior dev might not have that context either.
Correct.
Yeah. Let's say I found it invaluable for learning, but I'm using it with my eyes open that I'm using this to learn.
Right.
It is a very powerful technology, but with great power comes great responsibility.
Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me on this series, Jim. I really enjoyed this, enjoyed the audience very much, and I'd love to do another series with you all.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being here. It's been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed hanging out with you. Really enjoyed learning from you. And
learning from you too.
Really enjoyed learning from the audience. We do have a link to a survey that's somewhere in the chat. We'll get that dropped in again. If you jump in the survey, the main thing that I care about, there's a box at the bottom that says any thoughts and ideas. So please let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to do next time round. If you want us to run this again, if you want us to do a series where we dive into some Rust technologies and just geek out on WASM or Bacon or whatever you want, let us know, and then we will try and create some great content just for you. But otherwise, thank you all for joining us. Really hope this has been a fun series. Hope you've learned something. As Crypto Uni says, so say we all.
So say we all.
So yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you all on another stream on another day. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.